Hey everyone, it's Jonathan here, founder of Driving Academy, and in today's video, I'm going to be giving you 3 questions you should be asking yourself before you go take your CDL permit exam. So if you're looking to get a CDL license, one of the first steps that you have to actually take is actually get yourself a CDL permit. Now, this is a big step for a lot of people, and it can be scary. So to make it as easy as possible, I'm going to give you 3 questions you should ask yourself before you even schedule to take the test. So you know if you've got these questions correct, you're able to go and you should have the confidence that you need to get yourself started. What is question number 1? And you want to wait till question number 3 because that's probably going to be the most important question to ask yourself. And I'll give you a little tip and trick on how to pass this test. Super simple. So question number 1 is going to be, do you want to go for a CDL Class A or a CDL Class B? So if you don't know anything about trucking at all, which is fully understandable, a CDL Class A gives you the access to drive these big tractor trailers here. So that means you get to drive a vehicle that weighs more than 26,000 pounds, that carries a trailer that weighs more than 10,000 pounds. If you want to go for a CDL Class B, that means the entire vehicle has to be more than 26,000 pounds and the trailer has to be less than 10,000 pounds. In most cases, Class Bs are going to be things with no trailers, like box trucks, dump trucks, cement trucks, and garbage trucks. You can even add buses into the Class B category. Now, if you're kind of going back and forth, you don't really know which way to go, I would definitely recommend going for the Class A. Because once you have a CDL Class A, you're actually able to drive any kind of Class B vehicle on the road itself. And if you want to drive a bus, you just have to add something called an endorsement, which is a passenger endorsement. I'll walk you through all of that stuff, no big deal. So if you are somebody who's interested in money and you want to make sure that you're making as much money as possible, CDL Class A. For somebody who only wants to stay local and you kind of are very intimidated by these big tractor trailers and you just want to start off with a smaller vehicle, go for the CDL Class B. Now, why is that important before you actually go take the permit? Because that's going to determine which test you actually have to take. So every state's going to be a little bit different when it comes to procedure of actually how to get the permit. So most states, you're going to have to make an appointment at the DMV, go purchase your CDL permit. After you purchase it, then you have to make an appointment to take the actual test. Now, the test is going to be done on a computer, and it's going to be multiple choice. If you're going to go for a CDL Class A, you have to make sure you're taking a minimum of 3 different tests. First test is going to be general knowledge. This is going to be all about the general knowledge that you get of the actual vehicle itself. So safety procedures, driving procedures, everything encompassed in that. Step number 2 is actually going to be air brakes. So when you take the air brakes test, that's all about the air brake system in the truck. So these tractor trailers actually don't have hydraulic brakes like your car. A lot of them actually have air brakes, and that you have to learn exactly what that's all about. Step number 3 is actually going to be combination vehicle. And combination vehicle sounds exactly what it is because it's a tractor and a trailer. They're 2 different vehicles that you combine together, and you have to understand how to hook up, how to unhook, how to operate a trailer correctly. That's all covered in that section. Now, how do you actually study for this? You come to the best CDL school in the country, and we're going to walk you through our entire process. We have an online training program that can actually help you out with specifically this portion of the test itself. If you follow the process as we designed it, it has a 95% success rate no matter where you take it in the country. Now, if you're going to go for the CDL Class B, then you're going to have to take a minimum of 2 different tests, which is going to be general knowledge, like we talked about before, and air brakes. If you want to do what we recommend, which is also get the passenger endorsement, so that's going to give you 3 different tests. That means you're able to drive any of those Class B vehicles that we talked about, plus the actual bus itself. Now, that does not include school bus. If you want to go with the school bus, you have to add 1 more test to your resume, which is going to be the school bus test itself, right? So for the Class B, you have to take a minimum of 2 tests. For the Class A, you have to take a minimum of 3 tests. So once you know the answer to that question, the next question is, have I gotten 90% or better on the practice test that I've been taking? There's really 2 ways that people usually study for this test. Way number 1 is going to be the lazy way. You're going to download a bunch of apps. You're going to just memorize questions and answers and try to get hundreds on all of these tests itself. Or the way that we actually teach our students is we teach you directly out of the CDL manual. So you know exactly what the foundational knowledge is. Now, the pros of actually learning the way we teach you first, and then we give you practice test second, is now, once you understand the knowledge, now you're not just memorizing questions and answers. What actually happens is the DMV can give you a question. And tomorrow they can give that same question with 1 word different. Now, you change 1 word in that question, it's a completely different question. If you've just been memorizing how to answer that specific question, you're going to think that you know what that question is all about, but you don't have any of the informational knowledge that you need underneath that. So that's why our students are actually super successful. So the second question you should ask yourself is, no matter which way you're taking, are you getting at least 90% or better on your practice test itself? We tell our students get 90% or better because by the time you go for the actual test, you're actually going to be a lot more nervous. and the minimum requirement to pass is going to be 80%. I've seen people before they come to our school, they kind of try this thing on their own, and they're practicing on all these apps itself, and they're getting like 70s, 75s, 80 once or twice, and they feel confident enough to just go and take the test. And that is definitely not a good strategy to pass. So make sure that you understand, one, do you want to go for a Class A, Class B? And number two, are you at least getting 90% or better on the practice test itself? Now, the third and final question is going to be the secret question that a lot of people don't even know about. And that's going to be, do you know how to use the skip button? That's right. What am I talking about, a skip button? One thing that's actually going to be a cool legal cheat way for you to actually pass is going to be, there's going to be a skip button at the end of each question. So the way we actually teach our students how to pass this thing is, for instance, general knowledge is going to be 50 questions. You need to get a minimum of 80% correct, which means 40 out of the 50 have to be correct. So the first time you go through this test, you want to make sure that you're only going to answer questions you're 100% sure on. Not 90% sure, not 95% sure, not even 99% sure. If you're 100% sure, answer the question, because now you know you're going to get it right. Anything that you're not 100% sure on, you're going to click on the skip, you're going to skip that question, and it's going to get put to the back of the list. Now at the end, let's just run through a scenario. Say you answer 35 answers correct, and you have 15 questions that are unanswered yet. Now out of those 15, you only need 5. So now the odds are in your favor. Even if you mess up on a few of them, you still have a very high chance of passing. So don't try to speed through this thing. Make sure you use that skip button to your advantage, because now out of those 15 that are left, you can kind of go through, okay, I'm 95% sure on this question, I'm 80% sure on that question, I'm 50% sure on that question, so I'm just going to skip that question again until you get to the highest chance and highest probability of you actually passing the test itself. So those are pretty much the 3 main questions on what to ask yourself before you go and take that written exam to get your CDL permit. Once you actually have your permit, then the fun part begins, because then you actually get to learn how to drive these big tractor trailers, because then we have to get you ready to pass the 2.5 hour long road test. That's right. And that's a whole separate video for a whole separate time. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, like, and comment below. Let me know which one of these questions did you like the best, and have you been using the skip button if you did take the test before itself. My name is Jonathan, founder of Driving Academy. We are the best CDL school in the entire country, and we're here to help you get on the road to freedom. That's our mission, to help 1 million people get on the road to freedom just like you, and that's why we give you valuable information just like we did today. So check out our website, cdldrivingacademy.com, find a location near you, and if there's none near you yet, contact our Linden office and we can definitely help you out. Thanks. Have a great day. Hey, thank you so much for watching this video. If you like it, make sure you hit that like button. Also, subscribe to our channel. It's really going to help us out. Click on that button. And if you want to continue yourself on your road to freedom, here's more videos to watch. There's endless amounts. Hopefully we get to see each other one day very soon. Thanks.